Students, as we have already discussed about the coordination in animals, now it is the next topic of the chapter, that is coordination in plants. How do the coordination takes place in plants? There are two ways by which coordination takes place in plants. One type of coordination is by the movement which the plant shows. Another is due to the presence of certain hormones called as phytohormones, which I will be explaining you later on, which are responsible for showing certain coordination in plants. Now, when we talk about the movements in plants, there are two types of movements. One is tropic movement, another is nestic movement. If we talk about the tropic movement, then it is dependent on growth. And when we talk about nestic movement, it is independent of growth. Independent of growth means it shows no growth, but it is just like a reflex action as observed in case of animals, which is immediate response. So, the immediate response of the plant to any response, that can be called as the nestic movement. So, response immediately to response, that is just like the reflex action in case of animals. This nestic movement, as I am saying that it is independent of growth, it is non-directional induced variation movement, means variation is induced. When we say induced variation, then this type of movement is called as nestic movement. Now, there are different type of tropic movements. जैसा कि बताया कि dependent on growth. Different types of tropic movements are, one is phototropic movement, another is geotropic movement. Geotropic movement, I have written here P and N. P means positive, N means negative geotropic movement. Then is hydrotropic movement, then is chemotropic movement, and the last one is sigmotropic movement. Now, one by one, when we talk about, first is phototropic movement. Phototropic movement, ये वो movement है, the word itself it is defining you, that is the response of the plant towards light. अगर आप एक डार्क रूम में एक पॉट को रख दें एंड देर इज जस्ट फुल डार्क रूम, जस्ट देर इज वन वेंटिलेशन ओनली, उस वेंटिलेशन की वजह से जो लाइट आ रही है, आफ्टर फ्यू डेज यू विल ऑब्जर्व दैट द प्लांट shows its movement towards the ventilation. Why only towards the ventilation? Why not towards the window side? Why not towards the door side? Because the light comes only from the ventilator, light enters in the room only through the ventilator. So, the plant moves towards light. If suppose now you change the direction of the ventilation, ठीक है, suppose कीजिए पहले right में था, अब आप left का ventilation open कर दीजिए, you will observe that after a few days again the plant, do not change the direction of the potted plant, where it is there, let it be there only. You will observe again the plant shows now movement towards the light. As in case of sunflower also you can observe the same thing. So, movement towards light, it is called as phototropic movement. Now, another one is geotropic movement. Geotropic means movement towards gravity, और जो movement towards gravity होती है, that is geotropism or geotropic movement. It is of two types, one is positive and another is negative. Why positive and negative? If the plant shows movement towards the gravity, it is called as positive geotropism. If the plant shows movement against the gravity, then it is called as N, or you can say negative geotropic movement. जैसे कि movement of roots into the soil, that is positive geotropic movement. Movement of shoot above the ground, that is the negative geotropic movement. Now is hydrotropic movement. आप कहीं भी कोई भी एग्जाम्पल ले सकते हैं कि roots always show movement towards water. तो hydro word is defining you, that is water. तो movement of the plant parts towards water, it is called as hydrotropic movement. तो अगर आप कोई छन्नी लेते हैं, सीव ले लीजिए, उसमें थोड़ा सा सैंड डाल दीजिए, सैंड के ऊपर जो है आप कोई सीड स्प्रिंकल कर दीजिए आफ्टर, और थोड़ा सा वाटर भी स्प्रे कर दीजिए. नाउ कीप दैट सीव ऑन, you can say any tub filled with water. After a few days you will observe that automatically the roots, they will move towards water. This is the movement of the roots towards water, and this type of movement is called as hydrotropic movement, or the phenomena is called as hydrotropism. Now another movement of the plant is that is chemotropic movement. Chemotropic movement का मतलब होता है कि movement of any plant part towards the chemical. अब केमिकल के बाद आप खुद सोचें, आपके दिमाग में एक बार कोई नहीं आएगा कि भाई ऐसा क्या चीज़ है प्लांट जो केमिकल की तरफ मूवमेंट शो कर रहा है. आई टेल यू कि जो फर्टिलाइजेशन जब होता है प्लांट में, एंड द पोलन ग्रेन इट फॉल्स ऑन द स्टिग्मा, देन व्हाट हैपन्स कि इट जनरेट्स सर्टेन यू कैन से पोलन ट्यूब्स, एंड पोलन ट्यूब्स जो है केमिकल एक्शन हुआ है स्टिग्मा के ऊपर, वहाँ से एक पोलन ट्यूब जनरेट हुई है, और पोलन ट्यूब ऑलरेडी कैरीज टू गैमेट्स, टू मेल गैमेट्स. These gametes, they themselves do not move, but the pollen tube moves towards the ovule, and this movement of the pollen tube towards the ovule to complete the process of fertilization, that is called as chemotropism, or the movement is called as chemotropic movement. Another is thigmotropism. Thigmotropic और thigmotropism एक ही बात है, कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है. इसमें हमने बताया था आपका रिस्पॉन्स में, जैसे कि आपको अभी आते हैं यहाँ पर वापस, जैसे इसमें बताया था मैंने आपको कि छुई मुई का पौधा है मिमोसा पुदिका, टच मी नॉट प्लांट, वो अपनी लीव्स को ड्रूप कर लेता है या लीव्स को फोल्ड कर लेता है एज सून एज वी टच दैट प्लांट. वो एक नॉन डायरेक्शनल थी, इंड्यूस्ड वेरिएशन मूवमेंट थी जो कि इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ ग्रोथ थी, और वो एक ऑल ऑफ ए सडन एक इमीडिएट रिस्पॉन्स थी. लेकिन ये भी कुछ इस तरह से ही है, लेकिन ये इमीडिएट रिस्पॉन्स नहीं है. इसमें प्लांट का पार्ट अगर किसी सपोर्ट के कांटेक्ट में आता है, सपोज एक टेंड्रिल है, एक कोई वाइन है, VINE वाइन, बेल जिसको बोलते हैं, उसका टेंड्रिल एज सून एज इट कम्स इन कांटेक्ट विद द सपोर्ट इट क्लिंग्स ओवर इट, and due to the presence of certain hormone that I will discuss later on, that is auxin, उसकी वजह से प्लांट जो है अपनी ग्रोथ शो करता है, और जब तक टेंड्रिल सपोर्ट में नहीं आता वाइन ऊपर की तरफ एक्सटेंड नहीं होती. तो दिस टाइप ऑफ मूवमेंट विच इज शोन बाय द टेंड्रिल बाय द सपोर्ट, that is called as thigmotropic movement, or the phenomena is called as thigmotropism. Thank you. I hope that you all have understand the thing. Please go through this so that you can learn better. Thank you.